I knew that today was going to be really tough.
It's been 1 year since Richmond police officer Daniel Ellis lost his life. We'll show you how the community is rallying together again to honor him. A tough night for search and rescue crews at the Gorge after a camping trip turns deadly for a Louisville Boy Scout group.
We just showed off our athleticism.
Kentucky looks to be ready for the regular season after beating Asbury by almost 100 points. See how the Cats look for yourself coming up.
This is WKYT News.
Thanks for staying up with WKYT. I'm Miranda Combs. It's been a quiet first weekend of November, but we are tracking some very active weather. WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell has a look at the work week in your no-wait weather forecast. Hey, Jim.
And Miranda, it was an extra long weekend, of course, with the time going back 1 hour last night, early this morning, and gave us a little bit longer of a period to deal with the chill. That's what we had out there early this morning with a lot of folks coming in the 30s. Tonight, though, we find ourselves in the 40s. 50s, and again the 30s even at this moment. It's 54 in Lexington, it's 46 in Somerset, then you compare that to Monticello at 37 degrees. So our temperatures are all over the place tonight. What we don't have all over the place tonight, cloud cover or showers. Nothing showing up, just a little bit of cloud cover 2 hours south. That's mainly about it. And as we make our way into the early mornings hours, I think we're in the upper 30s, low 40s kind of generally area wide. You saw how the temperatures were spread out through the area right now. I think it's going to be very similar tomorrow morning with a little bit of cloud cover here and there. We get into the daytime hours and then temperatures are going to be running back into the upper 60s to right around 70 degrees. A fantastic looking start to the new work week. And then we get to Tuesday, and that would be our first shot of some rain late in the day, and that's going to be because of one of two fronts. Two big players in the forecast this week. I'll track them and break them down for you coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, see you soon. We'll get to our top story in just a moment, but first we have an update on the wildfires burning in eastern Kentucky. Right now, the Kentucky Division of Forestry says they are handling 24 fires in that region. They say the biggest fires are Pine Mountain Fire in Harlan County and the Eagle's Nest Fire in Breathitt County. Forestry officials hope to get the fires under control in the next few days.
We've got our containment lines in. The fire is roughly 3,000 acres in size. We've been on it 3 days. We had multiple crews on it. Got our fire commission in on it. They got pumpers and engines. And we're looking to maybe try to get a grasp on it tomorrow.
Nearly 400 workers from across the state are helping with relief efforts. A Central Kentucky community is marking an anniversary they never wanted to begin with. It's been 1 year today since Richmond police officer Daniel Ellis passed away. Officer Ellis was shot while investigating a robbery. Tonight, he was honored at the annual Turkey Bowl between Richmond Police and Fire. WKYT's Monique Blair was at the game and has our top story.
It was the game of the century.
For us old fat guys, it's pretty rough.
Okay, not really the game of the century, but it's a game that has been played for 6 years now, all for a good cause.
It's pretty hilarious watching us out playing. So.
The 6th annual Turkey Bowl flag football game, where the unlikeliest of rivals, Richmond police officers and Richmond firefighters play a friendly game of football, all to help out God's Pantry.
Here, so we've got the trophy and we aim to take it back home.
This game is always a fun day, but this Sunday afternoon, the game started out a little different than usual. That's because this day is the somber anniversary of one of Richmond's own men in blue.
This year, being the 1 year anniversary of Ellis's death, we decided to honor him.
Because I'm here to tell you that Daniel made a difference in this community.
I knew that today was going to be really tough, but just like today last year, I wasn't ever alone.
It was a hard time for us last year too at this time, and you hate to see anything like that happen, and we're proud to come out and honor it.
After Richmond police officer Daniel Ellis was honored before the game, a special 4-year-old was asked to make a special delivery. Officer Ellis's son Luke may not understand what all of this means right now, But his mom says this is exactly the type of thing he and his dad would have done together.
Him and Luke watch football a lot. They really love sports, and so it was an honor for Luke to take the game ball out today. The intense game went on, and then near the end it became evident that these rivals are really the closest of friends.
I mean, we're family. We think a lot of the police, and they've always got our backs, we got theirs.
And then near the end of the fourth quarter, the blue team suited up one of their rookie players. You could say he was the star of the game. And Luke Ellis scored a touchdown. All of this may not mean a whole lot to Luke Ellis right now.
I think one day he'll really realize how special this all is. I know I do.
Some may say it was pretty special for someone else too. In Richmond, Monique Blair, WKYT.
And I'm sure you're wondering who won the game. The final score was 24-19. The Richmond Police Department took the win. As first responders remember Officer Ellis, businesses in Richmond wanted to remind police that they haven't forgotten. All day today, employees at a Domino's Pizza in Richmond provided pizza for the department. The manager there says the community has done a great job of rallying around the officers and the Ellis family. But now she wanted to do something. She says on a difficult day like today, she just wants to deliver happiness any way she can.
It's just all about togetherness. We come behind each other. We stand behind each other. You don't feel in Richmond that you're all alone in the community. You feel like you've got somebody that's got your back, especially the police department.
Domino's split the delivery so that every shift at the police department got pizza today. Traffic is back to normal tonight after a massive crash on the interstate in Fayette County. Lexington police say a camper and two vehicles collided in the southbound lanes of Interstate 75 near mile marker 106. A short time later, police say a semi rear-ended another car. Police say no one had life-threatening injuries, but the interstate was shut down for a couple of hours while crews cleaned up the road. A tragic death out of Wolfe County tonight. Search and rescue crews say an 11-year-old boy was killed when he was hit by a falling tree in the Red River Gorge. Crews say Jack Rose of Louisville was on a camping trip with his Boy Scout troop last night when a dead tree fell and landed on his tent. The coroner says the tree hit Rose on his head, killing him. Crews say this death has been tough for them.
This is the first juvenile that we've had to really deal with like this, and you know, it just, especially if you have children of your own, I mean, it's just heart-wrenching to really, you know, see the pain and suffering that a family member and the friends are going through.
A Louisville TV station reports that the Lincoln Heritage Council will be offering grief counseling to members and volunteers. No word yet tonight about what troop Jack belonged to in Louisville. New tonight, a man is dead after an ATV crash early this morning in eastern Kentucky. Investigators say Tyler Fugit was driving an ATV near the Perry-Knott County line when the ATV went off an embankment. Fugit was taken to Hazard Medical Center where he died. According to his obituary, Fugit was a student at Bluegrass Community and Technical College, and he worked with Kelly Services in Georgetown. Maggard Funeral Home in Hazard is handling the funeral arrangements. His visitation will be tomorrow night starting at 6. The funeral is set for Tuesday afternoon at 1. And we are still waiting on the Garrett County coroner to release more details about the death investigation in Lancaster. The coroner says 31-year-old Bethany Floyd's death is suspicious. She was found dead inside a home on Price Court in Lancaster last night. The cause of death hasn't been released. Her body was taken to the state medical examiner's office for an autopsy today. Kentucky State Police are investigating a traffic stop that turned into a deadly officer-involved shooting in western Kentucky. Troopers say Deputy Chris Rainier stopped 43-year-old Randy Clark Jr. of Bowling Green in Morgantown last night for outstanding warrants. They say Clark got into a fight with the deputy and the deputy shot him with a stun gun. Troopers say Clark then drove away and Rainier was dragged by the vehicle. They say that Rainier was shot and killed Clark. Rainier was taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. There is a new push for Lexington police to take a different look at how they are dealing with prostitution in the city. Police are treating the prostitutes as victims and instead focusing on getting the Johns and pimps. Police say if they are out of the picture, a prostitute will more likely get help. 90% of the prostitutes in Lexington are addicted to drugs. WKYT's investigation team met one woman trying to get out of her life as a prostitute.
How does it work? You just keep saying like $20. Is that typically what you get?
Depends on pretty much what you do. You can make more, but the least you'll make is $20.
How much does heroin cost?
The least you can usually get is $20.
She told us during the interview she was going to get help. Find out what happened Monday night on WKYT at 6. We hope you join us for that interesting story. A big win for Kentucky tonight. It was just an exhibition game, but still the Cats beat Asbury by more than 90 points. Lee K. Howard joins us with the highlights. UK looked good tonight, Lee K.
They did, Miranda. This one was over just a few minutes after it began. Kentucky hosting Asbury for its final exhibition game. Despite Asbury giving a good effort, the Eagles were just outmatched tonight. Kentucky had 60 fast break points tonight. Derek Willis with 2 of them here, throwing it down. The score was 88-25 at halftime. Second half became a dunk contest. Malik Monk driving through the defense and finishing high above the rim, 105-28, and that may not have been his best dunk of the night. Here's another one from Monk, the reverse two-hander. The lead would grow to as many as 102. The best dunk of the night, though, came in the final minute by the senior Michael Mulder. The Asbury defender probably wishes that he didn't jump on that one. Mulder had 20 points off the bench, and Kentucky gets the win, 156-63. The 156 points is a new single-game UK record for an exhibition game. The regular season begins on Friday. We'll have more highlights and hear from John Calipari coming up a little bit later in sports.
All right, Lee K, see you then. Still ahead on WKY News tonight, a Transy student killed in a hiking accident earlier this year will be remembered forever. How her classmates are making sure her memory will live on. And a southeastern Kentucky animal shelter is finally getting a roof just as the cooler weather is settling in.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
Weather has been rather nice over this weekend with temperatures both days 60s, close to 70 degrees, especially today. As we head through the overnight, the chill will be back right now in Lexington. As we're looking back toward downtown, you can see that it's nice and quiet. Just a few cars passing along on the interstate. That doesn't tell you how quiet it is. 54 degrees, even though it's at night. You're usually seeing a lot out there. 54 here in Lexington. Winds coming out of the east at around 8 miles per hour. And then area-wide, you're going to find hit-and-miss spots as far as temperatures are concerned, because some spots are completely different than others. Some are in the 50s, like here in Lexington, but then you go down the road into Somerset, where they're at 46, and then Monticello's at 36. So we've got just 3 different areas there that are completely different. Election Day forecast, it's coming, folks. It'll be here Tuesday, and as the polls open early on Tuesday morning, it will come with a cool start, 47 degrees, 65 by noontime. By the time we get to 6 o'clock, keep in mind, it'll be dark then because of the time change. Showers possible and temperatures down to around 62 degrees. So overall, a good-looking day, a little breezy toward the middle part of the day as that front is advancing toward us. Very quiet tonight, though, across central and eastern Kentucky. Let me get you into the forecast period here. We'll go past Monday, where we're likely going to run into the upper 60s to around 70. Let's go beyond that, and let's get more so into your Tuesday. Watch the clouds continue to increase. 9 o'clock in the morning, mid-50s are already showing up. I think we have a good shot to run into the upper 60s to around 70 again out ahead of this front. Nice southerly wind trying to push that up. Showers are showing up here around the time polls close, as I mentioned, and beyond. This is a front, sweeps through the area, brings some showers into the early morning hours into eastern Kentucky, where they certainly need all the rain they can get down there with the forest fire situation. And then on Wednesday, temperatures don't recover very much. We likely end up in the low and mid-50s for highs. That's front number 1. That's the one you see making its way across the area as we go into Tuesday. So that one, first of all, brings a chill. Temperatures drop 10 to 15 degrees, but we've got another one that's going to be on the move, and this one has a lot more energy, a lot more strength, and as it blasts through the area, here's what happens. It brings the cold, not just the chill. Great Lakes, they're very warm this time of year. So when you get a good shot like this and a northerly flow that sets up, it will just continue to carry moisture down to Kentucky. Well, guess what? That's where we are. And that could mean we run into flake potential as we get toward next weekend. Now think, we were just in the 80s not that long ago, and now I'm talking about flake potential. There's that 7-day forecast. Overall, it looks good, except for the end of the week and into Saturday, because 50s, that's where we should be for highs this time of year. That's not really that big of a deal, Miranda.
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
Yeah, it's just going to hit you hard.
All right, thanks, Jim. Up next, some big news from the campaign trail. The FBI will not charge Hillary Clinton when it comes to her emails, how this affects the election, which is just 2 days away. Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $54 million, and Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot is $236 million. The presidential candidates are finishing frantic tours through the battleground states. With just 2 days left until voters head to the polls, the FBI made another announcement about Hillary Clinton's email controversy. Here's the latest from the campaign trail.
Hillary Clinton's campaign aides huddled on her plane reading the letter FBI Director James Comey sent to members of Congress on Sunday. Comey doubled down on his July decision not to prosecute Clinton for using a private email server while she was Secretary of State.
We're glad that this matter is resolved.
2 weeks ago, investigators found a new batch of emails from a laptop belonging to Anthony Weiner, the estranged husband of Clinton's top aide, Huma Abedin. The review found the documents were mostly duplicates. Clinton avoided the controversy on the campaign trail.
It is a choice between division or unity, between strong, steady leadership or a loose cannon.
But some damage may be done. Since the latest round of Clinton's emails was released, Donald Trump has tightened the gap in the national polls. Trump had a whirlwind day 2, hitting 7 states, including a handful he believes he can turn from typically Democratic to Republican. He says the FBI got it wrong.
Hillary Clinton is guilty. She knows it. The FBI knows it. The people know it. And now it's up to the American people to deliver justice at the ballot box on November 8th.
The new CBS News Battleground Tracker shows Trump has a 1-point lead in Ohio. The candidates are tied in Florida with 45% each. Nationwide, the latest average of several polls has Clinton ahead by about 2 points. Weijia Zhang, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Leaders in both parties swiftly reacted to the FBI's announcement. Democrats say it's time to move on from the email controversy, while Republicans insist Clinton broke the law. New tonight, Madison County will get a few $1,000s to help fix roads in the county. The state transportation cabinet says the county will get more than $3,000 in county road aid emergency funds. About $1,700 will be used for the Knatzer Lane to repair flood damaged areas, and another $1,500 will go toward fixing flood damage on Eddington Lane. A Transylvania student's memory will now live on forever on campus. 22-year-old Mary Catherine Stewart died back in March during a hiking accident at Raven Run Nature Sanctuary. Today, Transy's class of 2016 raised over $20,000 to build a pavilion dedicated to Katie. It was all part of their senior challenge. One of Katie's friends tells us not a day goes by that she doesn't think of Katie.
Katie really made a mark on our Transylvania community. We just loved her dearly, and we were devastated when we heard the news of the accident because she did have such a profound impact on us.
To make the day even more special, Katie's former employers, Crank and Boom Ice Cream and a Cup of Commonwealth, set up shop at the ceremony to provide free drinks and food. Work to install a roof at a Leslie County animal shelter is underway. Sisters Saving Shelters in Lexington raised more than $6,300 in 6 weeks for the shelter. That money is going toward putting a roof over the shelter's dog kennels. Volunteers say they used to have to shovel snow from the kennels in the winter. They won't have to do that this year. Crews were aiming to have their roof finished today. Lee K is back now with sports, and the UK basketball team played its final exhibition game against Asbury.
They did, and if you were a fan of dunks, then this was the game for you. Coming up next, we will show you some of the best of the 29 rim rockers in Rupp. That's next in sports. In a true David versus Goliath meeting on the Rupp Arena floor tonight, Kentucky hosting Asbury for its final exhibition game. But unlike in the Bible, David didn't really have a chance in this one. The Wildcats were running the floor all night. Derek Willis out in front of the pack. He throws it down, the first of many high-flying highlights. Winyan Gabriel throwing the lob to Sasha Kilea Jones. The lead would grow to double digits, and the Cats would never look back. The Cats led in scoring by the point guard, De'Aaron Fox. That slam there, just 2 of his game-high 25. Asbury really played tough, though. They were just way outmatched. How about Clarion Washington with the teardrop? The Scott County product had a team-high 14 points. It was 54-19 when Isaiah Briscoe came up with this steal and finishes above the rim. Briscoe had 11 points and one big smile. Kentucky had 60 points off fast breaks. Here's Willis once again. The score was 88-25 at halftime. More dunking in the second half. Malik Monk can really get up. 105-28. A little bit later, Monk going to deliver the pass. The lob to Kilea Jones. Cats by 91. The Rims were getting a workout. Off the steal, Monk slams it home. He had 15 points. And when Kilea Jones scored on this two-hander in the paint, the lead would blossom to 101 points. And it was a big night for Michael Mulder. 20 points off the bench, including the poster dunk of the night in the final minute of the game. Oh my goodness. The bench loves what they saw. 55 of UK's 66 baskets were at the rim, including 29 dunks. Final score, 156-63. Now the 156 points is a new single game record in an exhibition game for UK.
We wanted to guard threes, make them take tougher twos or really contested threes. And then the other thing is I didn't know if they'd play the whole game the way they played, but it ended up, I told them, you're not going to be able to run offense because they just run and trap you. So you got to attack, and that's what led us to playing that fast.
No, not too many teams like really press the whole game, and then if the press isn't working, I mean, some people stay in it, some people don't. They decided to stay in it. And, I mean, we just showed off our athleticism, and it helped us with conditioning-wise. So, I mean, when guys got tired, he tried to make them push through, and then he would get a sub in.
A 25-yard field goal in the final seconds was the difference in a 27-24 win for Georgia over Kentucky on Saturday night. The Wildcats controlled the pace for much of the game and had an 8-point lead in the third, but costly turnovers like this one in the second half and the inability to capitalize on Georgia's mistakes kept UK from winning a 6th time this season.
I really didn't feel like we had an edge about us today, though. I just didn't like just a certain look in our eye. I think our players wanted it to happen, and I don't know. I just got to do a better job of getting them to play with that mentality and that edge and that urgency that it takes.
We just didn't have the edge. Like he said, we expected to win this game, we didn't fight to win this game. So that's one thing we need to do come next week with Tennessee on our schedule, come out and fight for that one.
Freshman Benny Snell finished as UK's leading rusher with 114 yards on 21 carries and a pair of touchdowns. But there was a period of time late in the third and early in the fourth quarter when the Cats had the lead and chose not to give the ball to Benny to eat up the clock. It was a decision that Stoops questioned after the game.
Yeah, I think you could always, yes. I think that's certainly fair. I was thinking that and talking to him about that, yeah. You know, on a possession or two. But, you know, it's you can't let any one call. I had some calls that I wish I could do over too.
I just try to do my part as a player on the team. Whether he puts me in early or he doesn't, that's the way it is. So whenever my name's called, I'll be ready.
And he'll be ready early as the Wildcats will have an early wake-up call Saturday at Tennessee. It'll be a noon Eastern kick from Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, televised by the SEC Network. Randall Cobb was a game-time decision after sitting out last week's Packers game with a hamstring injury. Today, the Pack facing the Colts. Cobb didn't play much until the fourth quarter when Aaron Rodgers connects with the former Wildcat on a 3-yard touchdown. Cobb had just 2 receptions for 14 yards as the Colts get the road win 31-26. And that'll do it for sports. We are back with more after this.
Lee K says nice week. I say a little chilly.
I say trending chilly. Nice in the beginning.
I say it's a decent fall week, right?
So, yeah, you're both right, except till you get Saturday. Then it kind of goes to pieces there a little bit as we could be tracking a few flakes of snow. So hold on for a wild one this week, guys.
We'll be inside on Saturday if you need us.
Yes, we will.
Thanks for joining us. Our next newscast is tomorrow at 4:30.
Just a few hours.
Just a little bit. See you then.